This will be a whole new offering and probably tap into a market that Nike and other sports apparel companies really haven't before.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like.
The brutal realization finally hit Nike, and they showed a middle finger to Adidas with the new Caitlin Clark contract. But the biggest shocker here is that Nike is not only locking down Clark with a revised deal, but they're also suing Adidas for trying to sneak in and mess with their contract.
These leftists are idiots. Idiots. They're not about business. They're not about growing the WNBA. They're about diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is insanity, what they're doing to Caitlin Clark.
Legally, it's no-brainer. Two competing giants can't just poke around in each other's athlete roster like that. Now Adidas is scrambling, claiming they only made Clark an offer she didn't accept. But let's be real, they're up against Nike, the biggest name in the game.
However, I will say that Caitlin Clark has created more buzz around the basketball landscape and has actually transformed and revived a league that was the WNBA, and she is getting paid a measly $28 million for 8 years as opposed to Wemby's $100.
Watching this battle unfold is oddly satisfying because in the end, Nike wasn't dumb enough to let their golden goose slip away, and let's not forget how the internet roasted Nike for almost dropping the ball in the first place. It's been an entertaining mess all around.
NBA season, it was announced that Caitlin Clark signed a massive endorsement deal with Nike. This deal was for 8 years, $28 million with a signature sneaker included. Now, at the time, a lot of us were,
man, I almost feel bad for Adidas. I mean, all they tried to do was scoop up what Nike straight up forgot about, and honestly, they nearly pulled it off. This wasn't some random gossip you see flying around Twitter. Either it was the real deal, and it came with some serious heat. Adidas threw everything they had at Caitlin Clark, like they were trying to stage a sneaker coup or something. People were shook because this wasn't just a casual deal. It was a full-blown takeover attempt. Adidas wasn't playing nice. They saw the chance, they went for it while Nike was caught napping.
Nike struck absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world? And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials. We have not seen any ads. We have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise. And we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature.
But here's where it gets even juicier. Nike already had Caitlin Clark locked in. But instead of treating her like the basketball goddess she is, they managed to mess it all up. They promised her a signature shoe, a whole line set to drop in 2024, except in true Nike fashion, they fumbled the rollout.
You might not get a signature shoe from Caitlin until 2026 or 2027. I didn't mean for this video to turn into a rant, but this is just another example about how people have fumbled the gift that is
not just little mix-up either. Nope, they pushed the release to 2026. Maybe even 2027. That's not just a delay. That's full-on contract breach in capital letters. How do you mess up that?
The praise, the commercials, the ads, the merch, like all of the things that she should have gotten during this rookie season. Nike hasn't produced one ad or commercial featuring Clark since she turned pro. And despite a signature shoe being part of Nike's agreement with Clark,
based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with the WNBA MVP and Nike athlete, A'ja Wilson. But beyond Wilson, it's about the culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it, as Nike once used to.
Nike recently made a surprising decision regarding the release of shoes for two prominent athletes, A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark. Contrary to expectations, Nike prioritized Wilson's shoe launch over Clark's, sparking confusion and controversy among fans and insiders alike. The primary reason behind this move, according to sources, wasn't based on merit or sales potential, but rather on the absence of racial tensions associated with Wilson compared to Clark. A'ja Wilson, despite being an MVP, didn't carry the same dramatic narrative as Clark. Nike opted to play it safe with Wilson, overlooking the massive and passionate fan base that Clark commands. Clark's supporters are eager to promote her shoe release, ready to flood the internet with their enthusiasm. Nike's decision baffled many, especially since it appeared to sideline Clark despite her significant popularity and potential market impact. Insiders revealed that Nike's choice was influenced by the media-driven narrative surrounding Clark. The company seemingly underestimated the power of Clark's fanbase, believing that avoiding the racial tensions linked to her would be beneficial. However, this strategy backfired as Clark's supporters remained undeterred and more motivated than ever to support her shoe launch. Nike's cautious approach neglected the fervent demand Clark's fans were prepared to unleash. Meanwhile, Adidas saw an opportunity in Nike's hesitation and swiftly moved to secure Clark's endorsement. As Nike delayed Clark's shoe release from 2024 to potentially 2026, Adidas presented a compelling offer that included bigger financial incentives and greater creative freedom for Clark. This strategic move by Adidas ensured that Clark's shoe hit the market promptly, capitalizing on her current momentum and the excitement surrounding her recent performances. Adidas didn't just stop at financial perks, they gave Clark control over her marketing strategy, allowing her to design campaigns and shape her personal brand directly. This level of creative autonomy is rare in athlete endorsements and significantly contrasted Nike's restrictive corporate approach. Adidas's proactive stance ensured that Clark's shoe release was not only timely but also deeply aligned with her personal brand and her fans' expectations. Nike's delay in launching Clark's shoe created a window of opportunity that Adidas capitalized on effectively. Adidas promised a faster release date, ensuring that Clark's fans wouldn't have to wait long to get their hands on her signature footwear. This move highlighted Adidas's understanding of the urgency and the unwavering support Clark's fanbase had, which Nike had failed to anticipate. As Adidas moved forward with Clark, Nike found itself in a precarious position. Realizing the potential PR disaster of losing Clark to a competitor, Nike scrambled to salvage the situation. They attempted to revive the original contract with Clark, aiming for a 2024 release to match their initial promise. However, their efforts were seen as too little, too late, with Adidas already having secured Clark's loyalty and business. Nike's official reason for sidelining Clark was attributed to declining sports popularity, a claim that insiders dismissed as a blatant cover-up. The real issue was Nike's mismanagement and failure to recognize the value Clark brought both on and off the court. Adidas's success in securing Clark highlighted Nike's shortcomings in handling rising stars and responding to market demands effectively. The rivalry between Nike and Adidas intensified when Billie Jean King, an Adidas ambassador, publicly praised Clark's achievements, further fueling the conflict. Nike's last-ditch efforts included offering bonuses, expedited production timelines, and extensive marketing campaigns in hopes of retaining Clark. Despite these efforts, Adidas had already cemented its position with Clark, making it clear that Nike couldn't reverse the situation. The fallout from Nike's decision was significant. Fans grew frustrated with Nike's perceived favoritism towards Wilson and their mishandling of Clark's endorsement. This backlash not only affected Nike's reputation, but also underscored the importance of understanding and valuing athlete-driven narratives and marketing strategies. Adidas's successful acquisition of Clark demonstrated the effectiveness of aligning brand strategies with athlete empowerment and fan engagement. In the end, Adidas's strategic move to secure Clark proved to be a masterstroke, showcasing their ability to swiftly respond to market opportunities and athlete needs. Nike's failure to prioritize Clark appropriately highlighted the risks of underestimating an athlete's influence and the power of a dedicated fanbase. As Adidas continues to build on this success, Nike faces the challenge of rebuilding trust and adapting its strategies to better support and engage with its athletes. This scenario serves as a crucial lesson in the sports marketing landscape. Brands must prioritize authenticity, athlete empowerment, and timely responses to market demands to maintain relevance and loyalty. The clash between Nike and Adidas over Clark's endorsement underscores the dynamic and competitive nature of the industry, where understanding and leveraging athlete narratives can make or break brand strategies. Ultimately, the decision to prioritize Wilson over Caitlin Clark was a misstep for Nike, allowing Adidas to seize a golden opportunity and strengthen its position in the market. As the sports world watches this rivalry unfold, it becomes evident that the future belongs to brands that can adeptly balance corporate strategy with genuine athlete collaboration and fan engagement.